He made endless phone calls to mother, including right after he'd slaughtered 4 Idaho students. He had utter contempt for and an inability to function with women at school and at work. And then there's that grinning selfie that he took just hours after killing 4 people. Not to mention the constant hand washing, long showers, and sleepless nights we heard about from fellow inmates in jail. Bryan Kohberger's defense team claimed in court filings that he suffered from a variety of mental conditions, autism being one of them. And if there'd been a trial, the jury would have likely heard from competing expert witnesses. But I have my own expert. Scott Bonn is a well-known criminologist, an author, a podcaster who's now on a national speaking tour called Serial Killers with Dr. Scott Bonn. Dr. Bonn, good to have you on. Thank you so much. And what a night for you to join me. I'm sure you've been hearing about a lot of the breaking news that we've been reporting on this show tonight, not the least of which is the vibe that I get from the fact that this killer called his mom mother and his dad father, formally, all the time. What do you make of that?
Well, I've thought for some time now, and this only confirms my analysis, is that with Kohberger, we're dealing with a classic sociopath. And unlike psychopaths who are unable to form emotional connections and empathetic connections with others, sociopaths can. They are made, they are not born. And a sociopath, it's not unusual for them to have a powerful, emotional, empathetic connection with 1 or 2 people in their lives. And yet at the same time have complete disdain and hatred even toward the rest of humanity. And this, I think, is Bryan Kohberger. So the fact that he called his parents the morning of the murders and referred to them repeatedly as mother and father, and I guess he had a pattern of doing so, shows the extent to which he revered his parents and the extent to which he needed their emotional support and connection. He had to get himself grounded, I believe, that morning by calling mommy and daddy. So classic sociopathic behavior, Ashleigh.
Let me ask you about a passage that we think was highlighted in a book that was found. The book was called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And apparently one page, page 118, was heavily highlighted. We don't know exactly what was highlighted, but at the top of the book, I can tell you what it says. The knowledge that you can handle anything that comes your way is the key to allowing yourself to take risks. I'm trying to think if Bryan Kohberger was trying to get over the risk of killing and would read a book like this, or get over the risk of just being Bryan Kohberger?
I think it's more generally the trauma, if you will, of being Bryan Kohberger. We know that he was an extremely troubled young person, young man in high school and going into college. He is someone who had completely dysfunctional relations with others, particularly females, and I believe a true fear of women and a fear of his own goals and needs and desires, a fear of academia, a fear and an awkwardness in both his professional and his social life. So I think fear permeated him. And so looking at a self-help book like that, he was looking for answers. He was looking for support. He was looking for a way to overcome or at least walk through his fears. But I think when you look at Bryan Kohberger and his progression into truly the monster that he became, I think that the fear that he was trying to overcome from day one was, or the nature of the trauma that he was trying to overcome from day one was his own internal fear.
Dr. Bonn, I am so appreciative that you made space for us in the middle of your busy tour. I should just tell everybody, if they want to watch you, your work is amazing. You can go to Scott Bonn's website, Doc Bonn, that's DOCBONN.com, and you can also get tickets to the tour there. Thank you. Will you come back and be on the show again?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.